It's Breezy World Podcast, and I'm back tonight. And let's just say, um, Buffalo Bills disappointed me tonight. Very disheartening. Tough loss. I did say that game could go either way, and it didn't go as I expected it to go. But that's why you play the game. Joe Burrow and company came in to Buffalo, and they had one thing on their mind, which was returning back to the AFC title game to face off against no other than Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. It should be a treat, but it depends on how healthy Patrick Mahomes is with the ankle. So the games are set for next week Sunday. Buffalo could have did a lot of things better. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to the execution. I mean, to only put up 10 points in your own stadium is belittling, it's downgrading, and it's atrocious. They played like a team that didn't belong there. They could have lost to Miami in the first round. They was going to do this. In the follow-up game, they was talked about being one of the favorites all year long, about coming out of the AFC, and I believe the window is closing. You don't have so many opportunities in the game of football to win a championship. With football, it's not like basketball where you can piece these guys together and get certain guys to come in and get certain guys, mid-levels, there's mid-levels, there's the high-paid guys, there are the minimum guys. You can bring guys in through various ways in basketball, right? Football business works a little bit different. Football, you have guys that once certain guys get paid, there's literally no room to pay anybody else because you're going to lose somebody because somebody's going to go where the money is. Football, football players, their careers are way more shorter. They have a shorter lifespan in the football business, meaning that you have to get all your money right away, right off the top. There's no in between, there's no waiting. So when a payday comes and your organization that you play for can't give it to you, but somebody else is willing to give you the bag, you're going to go to the team that's willing to give you the bag because you're thinking about your security, your future. You're trying to secure your lifestyle. You're trying to secure all the things that you need. You're trying to secure that bag. You want to make sure you get all the money that you need, that you can get out of that situation. So a lot of times when you see players go to certain teams that you're like, whoa, wait a minute, that team is not even that good. They're going there because of the money opportunity. Okay, like say Lamar Jackson, if he should leave Baltimore. Let's say Baltimore offered him $133 million, guaranteed, fully guaranteed, the beginning of the year. But he wants to maximize his dollar for his value, right? So he felt like Baltimore might not value him by offering him that amount of money. So he's going to go, he's going to look around, he's going to see. He's looking at what Russell Wilson has got paid. He's looking at the Deshaun Watson contract. He's looking at all these other guys who recently got paid and got paid handsomely. And he's like, well, I want to get paid handsomely. If Deshaun Watson got $200+ million guaranteed, why I can't get, that same amount of money guaranteed to myself? He's looking at what Russell Wilson made, and he's like, well, Russell Wilson is getting this kind of bag. I need to be somewhere in that ballpark, if not better. So now, if Baltimore doesn't give him that type of deal that's somewhere in the ballpark of Deshaun Watson's or Russell Wilson's contract and whoever else at the quarterback position that got paid handsomely, he's looking to go elsewhere because he knows that elsewhere is gonna give it to him, even if it means not playing for a team that is a contender, right? Which sounds crazy, right? It sounds crazy, but let's be realistic here. When it comes to getting that dollar in the NFL, you're gonna go to the team that's gonna give you top dollar. And if Baltimore decides to match it, then fine. He will definitely go back. But if Baltimore decides that Lamar Jackson isn't worth that type of money and they can use that money in other areas to make their team better, then then Lamar Jackson will go to the team that's going to pay him that top dollar because he feels like they value him more than his old club, right? But this is going back. This is going to tie into the situation in Buffalo, right? We don't know who's going to be back in that uniform next year, right? Your hopes is that you bring back the same core group and get everybody healthy that has been hurt and see if you can go for that type of run, right? This is where I believe they should have pursued Odell Beckham Jr. to the max to pair along Stephon Diggs. He might have made a difference in this football game yesterday, right? Especially if he was ready to play. But being that they didn't add anybody special, that they were just using the guy that they got, now we don't know how that team is going to look for next season. Remember, the window gets slimmer and slimmer and slimmer because you got other teams getting better. We don't know who the Jets is going to add in the offseason. You don't know who New England is going to add in the offseason. You don't know what Miami is going to do. You got to look at your division and see that your division was pretty good, but teams start to fall off towards the end. They're not looking. They're not. Man, yo, it's just so frustrating. I'm stumbling over my words. How they went out to the Bengals, but I did say that Joe Burrow, he may not be the best quarterback, but his mentality and his mental game is strong, and this is what I meant by that. He's mentally strong, man. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's confident in himself. He believes in what he can do as being a young quarterback in the NFL, and he went out there and he played, man. And if he does what he did today or yesterday, if he goes into Kansas City and do what he did, and Patrick Mahomes is not 100%, then they will be going back to their second Super Bowl. In fact, I'd rather see them win the AFC crown and be back in the Super Bowl again. That's my opinion. Patrick Mahomes, he got his rings already. You know, Kansas City has been there 5 straight times. Cincinnati is going back for a second time. And I believe Cincinnati wins and Cincinnati goes to the Super Bowl. Now, who they're going to play is going to be pivotal. Because Dallas is up out of there. Oh, yeah, they lost. And I said they was going to lose, and they lost. Dak Prescott, the real Dak Prescott, showed up last night. He turned the ball over twice, which we all know Dak can go and have these magnificent games. I'm going to give him credit where credit is due. And this Cowboy team, they'll be thriving. And then Dak have one of them games where he doesn't protect the ball and he makes turnovers, and it hurts his team's chances. And not only did that hurt the team's chances, they kicker. What is going on with their kicker? Missing field goals, getting field goals blocked. Like, it's a disaster what we seen from Dallas. They lucky they beat Tampa Bay because they ran up the scoreboard. But he missed every field goal. Like, You cannot miss field goals and expect to win the fucking game. You know, it was a close game. It was, 9-6 or some shit like that by halftime, and the game was like 12-15 or 12-18, like some shit like that. Low scoring game. Pooty did what he had to do to get the team to win, and that 49ers defense did what I said they would do. I said that 49ers defense is going to get pressure on Dak Prescott and force him to make mistakes. If you can get Dak Prescott to make mistakes, you can win the football game. It may not be a pretty win. It may not be an easy win. But as long as you can get Dak to play erratic and not throw 5 touchdown passes, you're in business. And San Francisco was in business. And this is why they're going to the NFC Championship game to play against the Philadelphia Eagles Sunday. Now, this is going to be an interesting game because Philly literally checks all the boxes. Philly has a good offense. Philly has a good defense. The 49ers have a good offense. The 49ers have a good defense. Right? But can Pooty put up enough points and protect the football enough for the 49ers to win this game? Can he give the 49ers a chance to get into the Super Bowl? And since he's won two playoff games now. So he's playing up against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. And this is the funny thing. Even though the Eagles beat the shit out of the Giants, right? I still feel like the Philadelphia Eagles are beatable. Now, this is the real 50-50 game between these two teams. Got good offenses and good defenses. Now, who can get who to make more mistakes? And as painful as this may sound, but I believe Philadelphia is going to the Super Bowl. I believe that they can get Pooty to make mistakes. They can get Pooty to make the necessary mistakes to win the football game. But I do have a 50-50. Whoever wins the game, they win the game. So I'm not too big on who wins because I can care less who wins this game. Like, I don't really care. As far as the AFC game, I'm really not too interested in it either. But I believe it's gonna be a good game. And I believe Cincinnati's going back to the Super Bowl. Cincinnati is gonna win. They're doing all the right things. Joe Burrow is good. Cincinnati go as far as Joe Burrow takes them with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Boyd. They got a good team. And as long as he's playing with confidence and he keeps believing in himself, and like I said, everybody had Cincinnati written off. I even had Cincinnati losing, but I did say that don't count Joe Burrow and them out. And this is why I said don't count him out, because of what happened, the turn of events that happened to send Buffalo back to the cold. Well, they were already in Buffalo, so to send their asses straight home. And now they can go to Cancun and think about why the fuck they're in Cancun and not playing next weekend. It's like all the New York teams just suck, man. Like I don't understand what's going on. It's like all these New York teams, they play good, but they can't get past go. Like you get into the playoffs, you win a playoff game, you lose the next one. Like what's up with these New York teams, man? Like they gotta figure something out. Like I said, I believe Buffalo window is slightly closed. Like, you don't get too many opportunities, especially in the NFL, to get a run at a championship. Furthermore, to make a AFC championship game, only certain teams do it. And only certain teams is built and engineered to do it. Patrick Mahomes and company been there 5 times. 5 times. I believe Patrick Mahomes has 2 rings, right? Something like that. 1 or 2 rings Patrick Mahomes have. And yeah, they playing Cincinnati. And I got Cincy going to the Super Bowl. Depending on who comes out of the NFC East, I believe Cincinnati beats whoever comes out. It'll be if it's Philly, it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a war. But you see, here's the thing. Cincinnati played in the Super Bowl last year, so they had the experience, and I believe they win this time. The Bengals win this time. They're going back to the Super Bowl, and they're gonna win this time. Whether it's Philly, whether it's the 49ers, don't matter who's coming out the NFC East. Cincinnati is there, they win. Hell, I even go as far as this. Even if Patrick Mahomes and company is there, they beat whoever come out the NFC East. Well, not the East, but the NFC period, because the East and the West team is playing each other. So, correction, they beat whoever come out the NFC, not the East, not the West, just the NFC as a complete whole. They beat whoever comes out of that NFC division. They beat them. They beat them because especially if Patrick Mahomes is healthy, they beat him. But I believe Patrick Mahomes is still dinged up. I don't think he's gonna get better with a sprained ankle, especially the way his ankle was sprung during that game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's not something that, gets ready overnight. He may be able to put a little more pressure on it by next weekend, Sunday's game. But it won't be it shouldn't be as bad, but it may still be bad. But it won't be as much pressure. He won't be able to put much pressure on it like he wasn't able to do it on Saturday. And that's going to be important. But it doesn't matter. Cincinnati's going to win. That's my pick. NFC, close game. Doesn't matter. It could be Philly. It could be the 49ers. Really don't care. Really don't have no interest in it. Really don't have no interest in none of it. But it is what it is, man. You can't really you just can't have what you want all the time. And that's the reality of it. I really thought it was Buffalo's year to do something special. Especially for New York. It would have been good for New York to see them go that far, but hey, they got to really think about some shit and think about why they are where they are on the outside looking in now. And as far as Dallas, it was a good season. I will congratulate them on a good season. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but like I said, I can congratulate the team on a good season. They had a hell of a year. They made it this far. They were 1 game away from an NFC championship game. They can't hang their heads low on that. Hopefully Tony Pollard's injury is not too serious or too severe, but I'm hearing it's not good. Hopefully he be ready by the time the season starts again next year. Dak has to definitely work on protecting the ball, because they could have easily been in an NFC Championship game against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think I would have enjoyed seeing that actually a little more better. I'd have probably been a little bit more excited about it, even though I'm not a Cowboys fan, just to see Philly and Jalen Hurts neutralize Michael Parsons and beat the shit out of them. But but you know, I take it. I said they was gonna lose this round, and they lost. I said they did what I needed them to do, which was get Tom Brady out of there. They did that, and I said they can go ahead and lose, and they did exactly that. So I want to thank them for getting Tom Brady out of there. I want to thank Dak Prescott for protecting the ball against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, throwing them 5 TD passes, keeping the game out of reach. And I want to thank him for going in to San Francisco and I believe it was in San Francisco. Let me double check, but I believe they was in San Fran. Let's see. Yeah, they was in San Francisco. For going into San Francisco, they lost. 12-19. Yeah, for going into San Francisco and losing. I appreciate that. That's the way things work. We had the championship game set up for Sunday. The 49ers will be in Philly. We got 13-4 Niners and the 14-3 Eagles. It's going to be a good game. I know the Philly fans are hoping for a Super Bowl appearance. Like I said, this Philadelphia Eagles team is the Donovan McNabb and T.O. and Javon Curse team, Eagles team 2.0. Meaning they're good on both sides of the ball. So this is Philly 2.0 with Jalen Hurts at the helm. Not really too sold on them, honestly. But yeah, looking forward to it. They are the 3 o'clock game, the Eagles and the Niners. And then we got the 6:30 game. I knew the other day it was going to be the primetime game. And that's in Arrowhead at Kansas City. At Arrowhead. So Cincy has to go into Arrowhead and beat them. All that to say that everybody was hoping for a neutral AFC Championship game in Atlanta. I was looking forward to a neutral AFC Championship game in the ATL between the Bengals, not the Bengals, but between the Chiefs and the Bills, and we getting the Bengals and the Chiefs going through Arrowhead, and shit, the way the Bengals feel, they're gonna go into Arrowhead and beat their ass and be in the Super Bowl, and from that point on, we know the Super Bowl is set. Not sure where it's at. But it's set. Definitely set. It's definitely gonna be set after next weekend. So, hey man, gotta love it. Kyrie Irving and company came back tonight. I believe they beat. Yeah, they beat. Cause I feel like I haven't been talking about basketball too much. But let's see. Yeah, the Nets, they beat the Warriors 120-116. So the Knicks lost to the Raptors. Not surprised. These New York teams, man, I tell you. And SGA, man. SGA has been playing lights out. He hit the game winner for the Thunder to snap the Nuggets 9-game winning streak. Let me tell you, man, this guy, man, I don't understand why he's not in the MVP conversation. Like I said, the MVP conversation is about players who are playing their best basketball, right? So why does it matter about where the team is at as far as the standings? That's the only part that makes the award kind of sketchy, because you could have a guy who's playing lights out all year long, right? And just because his team is not playoff bound means he can't win the MVP, or that it counts against him somehow. I mean, I don't know, man. But he's been playing lights out. I'm not gonna get too much into that. But he's been playing lights out. He has to be in that, somewhere in that race right now, because he's been exceptional well all year long. I believe he's somewhere in the top 5 in scoring. Yeah, he's exactly number 5 in scoring. He's behind Giannis. Only people that's scoring better than him is Giannis, Tatum, Joel Embiid, and Luka Doncic is what, like a 0.1 point a game. Luka Doncic averages 0.1 point. I don't know if I'm saying this shit right, but Luka Doncic and Joel Embiid's numbers is so close that they could be tied for number 1. And Luka is really averaging 33.7 points per game right now. That's crazy. He's averaging. And Luka, he just lost, right? Yesterday. They held him under 30 points. Man, that is crazy. That is crazy. And Steph Curry's almost making 5 3-pointers. 3-pointers made. He's averaging almost 5 3-pointers per game. 5 3-pointers made per game. That's crazy. He leads the NBA in 3-pointers made per game. Clay's behind him. And then you got LaMelo. When is Lonzo Ball coming back? Speaking of Lonzo. But we got LaMelo, and then Dame Lillard, and, Buddy Hield. Is that Buddy Hield? Yeah, Buddy Hield. Shit. I think the Lakers got a win tonight too, right? The Lakers get a win. They beat Portland. LeBron scored 37. Well, LeBron, he would have to score damn near 40 to win. Portland got a new backcourt. To me, Portland's new backcourt is not as talented as Lillard and McCollum, but I'm guessing it's effective, right? I don't know if they got a 3-guard set going, because does Josh Hart start? I believe they got Josh Hart starting. I don't know how that's working out, but they got they got pretty much a 3-guard set. Simons has been good, man. He had 31 tonight. Lillard had 24. I mean, it's a good little backcourt. I'd like the addition of Jeremy and Grant in Portland. I believe it's been good for them and been good to them. It hasn't really translated into a whole bunch of wins, but I think it's gonna work itself out as the season progresses. We almost hitting the All-Star break, so after the All-Star break, it's gonna tell a story for a lot of teams, even the Golden State Warriors. The defending champs are not looking too good in these streets, man. And we got to see how they look after the All-Star break, because looking at this West, we got Denver sitting at number 1, and we got Memphis at 2, we got Sacramento Kings at 3, the Pelicans at 4, got Dallas at 5 at 25 and 23. The Clippers have been winning games. They're 25 and 24, sitting at 6. Phoenix is in 7th at 500, pretty much tied with Minnesota, but they got Minnesota at 8th at 24 and 24. And then we have Utah at 9th with 24 and 25, and then we have Golden State Warriors pretty much having the worst season that they can possibly have right now. We know Steph was out for a long period of time, but they're at 23 and 24. And then you got Oklahoma City with the same record. You got the Lakers at 22 and 25, Portland at 21 and 25. Like, I don't know if these guys, like, all right, Lakers, we understand that they're struggling. Anthony Davis is coming back. But this playing tournament shit is looking real, man. You're going to have some really good teams looking to fight to get into the playing tournament. And then it's going to be a fucking theatrical thriller going on with these last few teams, depending on who's sitting where in the West. And then you imagine having one of these teams sneak in to be 7 and 8 seed team beating a top team. But I doubt that's going to happen. But for right now, the standards look crazy. Even out in the Eastern Conference, right? The Knicks is looking at this playing tournament because right now they stuck in the 7th seed, right? Chicago is 10th. We all know that Chicago should not be in 10th place, but we're not even gonna get into why they in 10th place. Toronto struggling. They're 21 and 27. And we have, like I said, all right, let's go from the top. We got Boston sitting at number 1, Philly at 2, Milwaukee at 3, Brooklyn at 4, Cleveland at 5, Miami at 6. Now, 6 is where you want to be at. You want to be in the first 6 seeds. The moment you start looking at 7, 8, 9, and 10, you're looking at this playing tournament shit, right? Nobody wants that. So, like I said, I'm not a Knicks fan, but hopefully the Knicks can get themselves back into the 6th seed spot and try to stay there, or try to get to 5 and try to hang it in the 5 or 6 seed, so they don't have to worry about that playing tournament. You want to stay away from that shit as far as possible, right? We know Brooklyn was playing better with Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant is out right now. So if Brooklyn can hold steady in 4th until Kevin Durant get back, then they possibly can jump back into 2. But right now, the best team in basketball overall are the Boston Celtics. And I believe, I'm going to go ahead and put this on record now, right? I'm a Sixers fan. I'm a Philadelphia 76ers fan. As much as I would love for us to be in the NBA Finals, Joel Embiid and James Harden would have to be as healthy can be. And we know that's like wishing on a star. But nevertheless, I do feel like they will be there. My Sixers will be there. But man, it's hard to count Boston out and go against Boston the way they're playing right now. And I feel like they're gonna be in the NBA Finals again. Even over my 76ers, I'm picking the Boston Celtics to be in the NBA Finals. The West is hard to pick right now, but the East, I don't see nobody beating Boston, man. Boston, they playing on another level. They got a taste of it last year. Jason Tatum and company, they're gonna get a ring. They're gonna be hanging up another banner in TD Garden. As much as I hate to say it, but they will. And this video is getting a little too long, so I'm gonna say peace and love as always. Soon as more WNBA news come down the line about free agency, I will have those videos for you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And again, peace and love as always. I'm out of here. Until the next one.